Hey everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you what I have learned from project panning, and project panning has helped me learn and just sort of think of things in a different way. So I have been project panning for almost 8 months now, which isn't a very long time, but in that short amount of time I have really learned and changed the way I kind of think about my makeup collection and purchasing habits. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. So the first thing is, just because I want it doesn't mean I need to have it. So this may be kind of obvious to some people, but really I've learned to prioritize products, and this may sound kind of weird, but prioritize products of what I really want and what is sort of not really necessary. So if I find myself wanting a certain product, I will add it to my wish list. So on my laptop I have a list of a lot of the products that I want. It's not every single product because that would be a lot, but if it's something I'm really tempted by, I will add it to my wish list and I'll leave it on there, kind of let it marinate for a little bit and come back to it maybe a month or two later and see if I still really want that product as much as I did a month ago. So this kind of goes with the idea of not really giving into the hype of products. So if something is really hyped up, you may really want it in that moment, but if you leave it on your wish list for a couple of months when the hype dies down, you probably or most likely will not want it as much, and it may be something you still really want, and therefore you could go ahead and purchase it at that point if you are still really intrigued by it a month or two later. But waiting a couple of months will really help you to not make as many impulse purchases and not end up with a lot of stuff in your collection that you don't really like. Another thing I have learned from project panning, which is kind of an obvious one, is how long it actually takes to use up products. I have one of the biggest categories in my makeup collection are blushes and highlighters. I have so many of them, and blushes and highlighters are one of the products that it takes me the longest to use up. So I have realized how long it takes to use up these products, so I'm not as tempted by buying new products. I like to enjoy the products that are already in my collection. And another thing that kind of goes along with this is I have learned to actually enjoy the products in my collection. I have not been as tempted by a bunch of new products, and if I am tempted by new products, I will find something in my collection that is pretty similar. So project panning has really changed the way I look at makeup products and kind of changed my consumer habits as well. So instead of wanting all of the new products all the time, I actually get use out of the products in my collection, and I really love playing with the products in my collection and just enjoying my collection rather than purchasing new products. And projects like my project 10 uses and my shop my stash has really helped me to use the products in my collection and actually learn to love them instead of wanting to purchase all the new makeup. So it has really changed my consumer habits in that way. So I'm not so focused on all the new products that are releasing. I'm more focused on just using what I already have. Another thing project panning has kind of helped me realize is to let go of that complete collection mentality. So basically what I mean by this is, say you have a lip gloss in your collection, it's a specific color obviously, and you really love it, it's one of your favorite glosses. Obviously there is probably going to be that same lip gloss formula in maybe 20 different colors. So instead of thinking, oh, I need to complete this collection, I need all the glosses, all of the shades that they have in this one specific gloss, instead of thinking that you need to complete your collection, you should just enjoy the gloss that you have. If it is one of your favorite glosses, obviously you can go ahead, purchase maybe one or two of your favorite shades or the ones that stand out to you the most. But project panning has really helped me stop kind of thinking in that complete collection mentality where I just have to have all the products in that line and all the shades of this specific product. So I think that is one of the main things how my mentality has changed with project panning is you don't need to complete the collection. You don't need every single product from one collection or every single new product that is out there. Another interesting thing that I have also kind of realized or learned from project panning is I would rather have less luxury makeup than a ton of drugstore makeup. So before I started project panning, my collection was a lot bigger than it is now, and a lot of those were little drugstore products, most of which I didn't even use. So it has really helped me learn that I would rather buy more luxury products, which is kind of what I've started doing now. Like this year I bought my first Hourglass blush, and I also don't buy these products full price. I did get it off of Poshmark for more than 50% off, but it was brand new. So Poshmark is a really good way to get more luxury high-end makeup for a lot cheaper. But anyways, that's kind of a different topic altogether. So one thing I have learned is I would rather spend my money on less luxury makeup than spend it on a lot more drugstore cheap products. Don't get me wrong, there are really good products at the drugstore, but before I started project panning, I would go on e.l.f.'s website, and obviously a lot of things from e.l.f. are like in the $5 to $10 range. So even less than that, some products. So I would literally just keep adding everything to my cart. Oh, it's just $2, I can add that to my cart. Or oh, it's just $5, I can add that, when I really didn't need these products and I really wasn't going to use them. So another thing that kind of goes along with that is just because it's cheap doesn't mean you need to buy it. So along with project panning, I've kind of stopped going on like the e.l.f. website or the NYX website and binge shopping. I never really binge shop anymore. Obviously, if I run out of either a brow product or a mascara, I would probably go on like the NYX website and buy a couple of the products that I have wanted and have been on my wish list for a while along with those products. But I wouldn't binge shop and just add a ton of things to my cart just because they're so inexpensive. So I've kind of stopped, or now I can control myself more rather, because I know I don't need these products and I'm not actually going to get use out of all of them. So through project panning, I have decluttered so many products, mostly more drugstore products that I bought just because it was cheap and I never really ended up using it. So those are the types of products that I mostly ended up decluttering in the past 8 months, because I would buy so much makeup because it was cheap when I really never ended up using it. So that is definitely one of the best things project panning has taught me, because my mentality on consumerism and the way I purchase products has really changed. The last thing that I want to talk about that I sort of mentioned before is to prioritize your wish list. So put it on your wish list, see if you want it again, and then a couple months later come back to it. But also, if you have 50 items on your wish list, obviously you're not going to purchase all 50 items. So you need to kind of prioritize, maybe see what I have on this list that I don't already have to my collection or that would actually add to my collection. Another way to do this is to ask for gifts for Christmas or your birthday, especially if it's like a more expensive product or something that you wouldn't normally buy for yourself. Put it on your wish list for friends and family and they could purchase it for you. But the main point here is not to purchase products on impulse, right? When you see it, just because you want it doesn't mean you have to have it. So I did kind of talk about this before, but just utilize a wish list and have a system to buy products. Don't just buy whatever you want, because you will end up with a collection that is not really curated. And that is something that I've really worked on throughout project panning, is decluttering my collection, getting rid of products that I'm not actually using. So I think project panning has definitely taught me a lot in the past almost 8 months, and I definitely will continue to do project pans. But that is it for this video. So if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and also let me know down below in the comments if you do project pans, what some of the things project panning has helped you with down below in the comments. I would love to chat with you guys. But if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.